Good evening and good afternoon. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us today as we look ahead to this Manchester United game against Wolves in the league. Joining me as usual are these two fine gentlemen, Ritter and Shawnee, my partners in crime, who will help me break down what to expect in this game. With that element of real, genuine, passionate fan opinion. This game's not a derby, it's not a final, but it is a significant one for Manchester United, and there's a few reasons for that, which we'll get into. On the calendar, it's the bogey fixture. We know how difficult Wolves can be, but also the eagerly awaited debut of the Portuguese sensation, the new export from the Portuguese league, and one of our own now, Bruno Fernandes. He's in red, a player that will no doubt improve this team and perhaps give us Manchester United fans a boost of belief, not just in our top four capabilities, but perhaps and maybe a Europa League title, hopefully, But, gentlemen, before we get to the football, transfer deadline day coming to a close, Manchester United have been linked with a lot of players. Probably all the deals are off now with the players I'm about to mention. But, after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, I thought we just had to touch on it one more time because I don't think we have. We've been linked with players like Timo Werner this month, then Edison Cavani. Then it starts to go down, doesn't it? Josh King, Igalo, Rondon, Slimani. If we were to get one of these players, especially someone as ridiculous as Josh King, and some of the estimated transfer fees I'm hearing is around £25 million for this player. That's some of the latest stories coming out, even though Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has rejected those, has said that there probably won't be any signings, and most of them have been rejected by the club anyways. But if we were to sign players, any one of those players, what are you guys' thoughts on that? I mean, I guess Cavani and Werner wouldn't be that bad. But what about the other guys on that list? What are your thoughts on that?
It's like, I know we're desperate for players and stuff, but personally, I wouldn't. I'd just rather struggle and maybe even, if we want to be desperate, I'd be desperate in our youth team somewhere. Just go scrape the youth team for someone. But I wouldn't sign a Igalo. I wouldn't sign a Slimani. I wouldn't sign one of those guys, especially at this stage. I don't think it's right. And I honestly don't feel like they're going to add anything, really, besides just being there.
No, there's still time. I think it closes at 11, so there's still a couple of hours for something to happen. I mean, we've seen transfers happening with like minutes left in the transfer window. But knowing United, probably won't happen. I don't think Cavani or Werner, that type of signing will happen now. I think that ship has sailed. Josh King, look, if we had many options, he wouldn't be my first choice. But hey, we need goals. We need goals. And having him as an extra body won't hurt. It really won't hurt.
My problem with Josh King, and he's an interesting topic. Whether or not that ship has sailed, we can talk about it. Josh King, for me, is an interesting one because for that price, for any price that's in the double figures, it becomes a bit of a sketchy deal for me because you're essentially paying in the millions, tens of millions, perhaps 20 of millions, for a player who's only supposed to come in and be a quick fix for 6 months. And what do you do with Josh King after Rashford is back, after Martial's back? Is he now our permanent backup? I don't know if I like that idea too much. And there's no disrespect to Josh King, but
it doesn't really work out well going forward, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
He left in a situation where he's playing as a third striker, or even worse, for our club, the Glazers saying we have Josh King. Why do we need to sign anyone else? So
it's a waste of money. It's a waste of money.
And knowing
a
that
loan deal wouldn't hurt.
You probably wouldn't even get him for 25 million.
Yeah, and Bournemouth's not going to loan him because they need him. So, but a loan deal would have been perfect for him. Yeah. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's back at it again in the press conferences. I am happy with what we've got. That's not what he said, but he basically could have said that. Because when he was asked about business before the end of January, he said that business is probably not going to happen, which to me it's not much of a surprise coming from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself. But then again, he never said anything about Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes happened. So I don't know if this guy's really clued up on what's happening in the club. I think it's pretty obvious that Manchester United are looking to bring someone in. I don't think these rumors are coming from nowhere. I just think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer personally doesn't know where to look, and so he's saying it's done. You know, I'd rather just wait till the summer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he tries very hard to be diplomatic this time. I think we saw
He does.
He kept denying every week. In this instance, I think he is being honest. I don't think anything will happen. But with the evidence in the past few weeks, I think it's possible that he's hiding something.
Yeah, because he also revealed that Manchester United have been following Bruno Fernandes for years. I don't know if he was supposed to do that, and I think he might get into a bit of trouble for that. Because the club tried to make it seem like they definitely weren't in for Bruno Fernandes in the summer. So it's very clear that Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are speaking two different languages at the moment.
In the last few days, he's been on. He can't stop smiling. He's been on Bruno Cloud 9. So
yeah, all on Bruno Cloud 9. All on Bruno Cloud 9. Well, let's get to the football then. Wolves have lost 3, drawn 2, and only won 1 in the last 6. While Manchester United, complete contrast, have won 5 and only lost 1 in the last 6. You wouldn't think so, being a Manchester United fan, but that's our current form. And well, it's easy to look at the teams and be negative and say, well, one of those victories is Tranmere, one of those victories is Wolves in a cup game. But it's still impressive. It's still impressive. It's an impressive run of games considering how we started this decade. Do you think Manchester United will go on and get a result? Or will our recent form and spirits be crushed by a negative Wolves playing style, especially because there's no cup incentive?
Bruno starts, we win the game. It's simple as that. Bruno doesn't start, we probably won't win the game. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Bogey team my ass. Bruno's in town now. Bruno is in town. They have no chance. No chance.
No one has a chance.
How far do you know what? We'll get to Bruno specifically, but how far will Manchester United fall on the table, do you guys think, if we don't win this match? Because the gap between us and 14th is only 4 points, by the way.
Well, if Bruno had to play from the beginning or whatever, and if Bruno has a good game, but United still doesn't get a result, I think we'll end up in that bottom pile around there, around 10, maybe 14, maybe even outside Europa League. Because, if we bring in a guy like this and the system and, the things are still not going well while we have Bruno Fernandes and he is playing well, then there's nothing we can do.
I mean, it's only one game. I mean, if he doesn't play well tomorrow, it's only one game. It's only one game.
Yeah, but I was just saying if he plays well, if he played well.
I think we might fall a bit in the table, but people are very inconsistent around this, so I'm not too worried. Spurs are playing City, Chelsea are playing Leicester, which I think they'll lose, to be honest. So, yeah, but I do think we'll win. He mustn't do something outrageous like play Bruno in the 6. I will lose my mind.
That's very possible, Italy. So most people don't know this, but at Sporting Lisbon, towards the latter half of their season, this I think last year, and parts of this year as well, they've been using 3 different formation, and one of them has actually been a back 3, funny enough, or back 5, depending on how you look at it. So Bruno Fernandes, Sporting fans will know that Bruno Fernandes has played in and around that 6 region. Not as an out-and-out number 6, but because Bruno has license to do whatever the hell he wants, it seems. He usually plays in that box-to-box / CDM role for Sporting. Not usually, sorry. He's played there once or twice in the last month, and a few times towards the end of last season when they started playing that formation more regularly, is what I meant.
In the last few games, he's been playing on the right. I just hope Ole doesn't get any ideas. Just play him in the 10. Just let the guy split himself.
Yeah, definitely. Predicted XI then for this game. Let's bring it up.
I have 2 predicted XIs. I predicted we'd go back to the back 5 because Oli did say that he doesn't want to really change anything and he prefers the back 5, especially because we have no Matic and we don't have strikers.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. And Bretta, you can start with this one. Why has Ole Gunnar Solskjaer suddenly switched to the back 5? It's the forward,
I think,
isn't it? Because
he feels like his hands are forced. He feels that with the injuries at the moment, this is the best system. This is the most productive system he has.
Yeah. Because I think most Manchester United fans, even myself, have been very toxic towards Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a bit unfairly, because we've all said, why are you playing the system? It hasn't worked, blah, 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 blah. But what is he going to do? What is he going to do? If he doesn't play this system, he has to play Greenwood, James, and Martial. and he's got no one off the bench.
To be honest, I think
If
he
one
might
of those-
tomorrow. I think we're going to go back to the 4. I think Andres and Fred will play holding positions with Bruno Fernandes in the 10. And front 3, it's going to be tough because of injuries, but he'll play...
I think he'll play Lingard.
You play who?
I think if we play a front 3, he might experiment with Lingard on the wing. Now that we have Bruno Fernandes, he'll give Lingard license to go play on the wing.
I think he might
As a
consider Matt on
replacement
the
for
right,
Greenwood. Oh yeah, okay, there's Mata as well. My bad.
alongside James and Martial.
That works as well. But you know he loves Lingard.
So yeah, this is my predicted what I think Oli would do. But then, because things are good in the club, I believe in a second chance. And I have hope because of Bruno Fernandes. That's it. My only hope is Bruno Fernandes. I went, and this is out of my heart. I was like, maybe some way, Oli does this formation, right? Yeah, and puts out a team like this.
I feel like maybe I'm giving Ole too much credit, but I think he'll know for this game this formation is very, very wrong. Because a team like Wolves is also going to sit back. So you have to go for them. And in the last 2 games, it seems against Wolves, it seems like he's learned because he's tried to do that. So I think in this game, he will play a 4-2-3-1 and try attack Wolves.
Bruno Fernandes has got to start in this game though. Right?
Yeah,
He's got to start.
Like he has to.
We
like,
can't wrap him up and bring him
Oli
off the bench.
said that he will definitely be involved in the game. He just doesn't know to what extent. So I don't know. That means he's going to be on the bench and things like And also, it's possibly could be a reason that he does have to get settled in. They also want to prevent the walkout, and it is the Bugsby Bay Memorial and all of that. So lots of things to consider. But Bruno has to start.
His playing style is rocket science.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with regards to the whole walkout thing, that's just childish conspiracy theories. I don't think Woodward's plotting and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plotting to keep people in the ground by bringing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer late on. And if they are doing that, they're very childish as well for going through that. That's very childish. Like, do you need to win a game of football? I don't see that happening. I don't see that being the reason, rather, why Bruno Fernandes wouldn't start tomorrow. If there is a reason he doesn't start, it's because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's afraid to just throw him in. That's it, really, I think. If we do play that first formation, the back 5, how well do you guys think Bruno Fernandes will integrate into the system, and how big of a difference will he make if it's a back 5 instead of a 4-2-3?
Let's go back to that back 5 there. I mean, you look at that midfield, I think it's a decent enough midfield to do the job against Wolves, If he does play on the right side of the midfield, where he has been playing for Sporting, and, it is his more natural position, I think he'll be very effective, I think he'll put in lots of balls, lots of quality balls for James's pace, because he can just run through. I think he'll put lots of quality balls in service for Martial, and I think Martial will be more free to go up forward. And and I have expectation is high with Bruno Fernandes.
I think Bruno will always make an impact because he's Bruno Fernandes and he's just class. But I honestly think if we play this formation, we might lose because it just doesn't make sense for this game. It doesn't. We're playing a team that's going to sit back, and eventually the owner's going to be on us to come out. So it's going to be the players won't be sure on what to do and how to go about it, and we'll be asking for trouble against Wolves, which I think happened. In the first of the 2 replays of the 2 FA Cup games, where we were so deep, eventually Wolves gained courage in the game and were controlling the game.
That's a good analogy. Good observation, dear Watson. You only know that if you watch Sherlock Holmes. But if Delo was to play, or even Wan-Bissaka was to play, Brandon Williams was to play, and they both had good games in a back 5, with the assistance of Bruno Fernandes, what then? Is that not the perfect way to run? Do you not think that would be a good thing? Is what I'm asking.
It is. It'll be more productive than if Wan-Bissaka's playing, to be honest. I think if they're running and putting in the balls and Bruno's active there and James is actually careful with his touches and he just doesn't just run, I think it could work, but I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I think Bruno Fernandes is actually...
Wolves are struggling right now. We just need to go at them, and we can do that.
That's That's why I had that 4-3-3 formation. Back to what Oli got the job with in the first place. I feel like you could do it. Like if I have to go back there quick, I mean, you could do this. I don't really feel there's anything wrong with this 4-3-3 attacking formation. I don't know if you guys. What would you guys change about this 4-3-3 attacking formation?
I don't see it happening, to be honest. But I do.
Yeah,
feel...
also, I'm just hoping for a miracle. And,
what I would change is put Fred where Pereira is and put Matic in the 6 because McTominay's injured. That's
Matic
what I would.
Can't play. He's suspended.
Oh, okay. That's unlucky. Well, I would play what Ollie's been playing the whole season because if anybody has been watching Sporting Lisbon, they've actually played a similar formation to what Ollie's played all season, the 4-2-3-1. Or the 4-3-3 holding, some people call it, with 2 holding and a cam. It's essentially the same thing. If you consider this graphic, if you were to consider James and Mata as right mids and left mids instead of left wings and right wings, and you just drop Pereira into the holding role or something else.
Like I know you probably, and I think you probably will do that tomorrow. But I just feel like if he could play this because Andreas in 2 holding midfielders, that's not really Andreas's strong point. So I think he's got the complete freedom to do this. But I agree with you guys. I don't think he's going to do it.
It's not, but I'll excuse it for this game because he's not great at it. He's not horrible at it. I'll excuse it for this game because I think a 4-2-3-1 will be more productive for this game. And okay, obviously this is the most productive, but this will never happen. And I'd like to see Matt. Yeah.
Yeah. No, sorry. You can finish off.
I'm saying I think Mata and Fernandes next to each other, switching between the right and the middle. I think that could work brilliantly. So.
That's exactly why I love this formation.
I think people need to be careful though because you can't confuse this team any further. You can't play a 4-2-3-1 all season, switch to a back 5 for 3 games, and then all of a sudden switch to a 4-1-2-3 or 4-3-3 attacking. That's my only problem with this formation is that we haven't played it. In the future, this is something that should be played and is probably the most productive with the team we have when they're all fit. But at the moment, we haven't played this formation all season. And the reason why I hated the back 5 is because we hadn't played it consistently enough to get the best out of it as well. So I'm against randomly just changing things, unless he's genuinely experimenting and not just being desperate. I think Bruno Fernandes will work very well in a 4-2-3-1 because that's where he played it. That's the system that made him successful at Sporting. That's what Sporting played when this guy got 50 goals / 50 assists. If anybody knows anything about what actually happened at Sporting. So he'd fit perfectly into that system. And I agree with Malota in saying that Andreas, he's not a 6 by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not atrocious at the role. He's decent enough if he has someone who can support him. The only problem is he's got Fred next to him, and I don't know if Fred can cover for this guy. But look, I think you've just got to keep it consistent, and it's the lesser of the 2 evils. I'd rather we play what we've been playing the whole season than a back 5 tomorrow.
If this man plays Bruno Fernandes in the 6 and plays Lingard in the 10, my head is going to explode.
I don't want to be negative though. That's the thing. I don't I have no negative thoughts. I'm like, tomorrow's it's a good day. It's a good day. Bruno debut. I feel like things will be right, and I hope. It might be naive because I'm speaking on emotion and stuff, but I really hope it's gonna go well.
Yeah.
Well, it is fan opinion, but I would say that with regards to Lingard, I don't think any footballer and any manager in cohesion have gotten many more chances than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Lingard together in a job, like both of them. Any other manager besides Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have been sacked at Manchester United by now, and any other footballer under any other different manager would not be starting in games like the games against Man City and Liverpool if they had the stats that Lingard had this season and there was someone off the bench like Mata who could start instead. So it's interesting to see this this viral clip that's going around of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting mad at Lingard when, in actuality, even though we're proud of Ole for actually showing emotion and yelling at Lingard off the side of the field, he shouldn't have started him. And this guy shouldn't be getting as many chances as he is, especially not in the big games. So, for me, if Lingard plays tomorrow in the same team as Bruno Fernandes and Bruno Fernandes out of position, it's less about Bruno Fernandes being out of position and it's more about Lingard still starting when there's a proven talent who can
It'd
play
be
this role
insulting.
over him. It's insulting. It's bigger than Bruno Fernandes playing out of position. It's a serious problem. I mean, even if we had brought in, and I'm not saying I want someone like a Declan Rice, but even if we had brought in someone like Declan Rice instead of Bruno Fernandes, I'd be saying start him over Lingard. Give him a chance. Get this guy out of the team because he's done nothing. You know, that's how bad the Lingard starting is for me, because he's done nothing to warrant a start.
I'd start my chair over Lingard.
yeah. You know, and look, it's not Lingard's fault. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault. It's not Lingard's fault. You know, when you get picked, you get picked. When you get called into work, you get called into work. You know, what do you expect Lingard to do? Just be like, oh, I don't know. Just sit
I
there.
don't expect Lingard to be like, listen, I'm shit. Don't play me.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So it's not Lingard's fault. The blame has to be 100% on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he picks the team. So, you know, whatever formation sheet we see tomorrow and perhaps over the next few games might be an insight into the future of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans. And I pray that, I don't really pray that often, but if there's one time I'll ever pray in my life, it's that Bruno Fernandes starts tomorrow. I'm not religious, but if I'm going to pray, it's that this guy starts tomorrow. For real. Or he's at least a part of being Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans of putting him in the camp.
When are we expecting the return of Pogba and McTominay?
McTominay, I think in a few weeks. I'm not sure. Someone can correct me.
Yeah, no, Oli came out and gave an update. He said that Pogba and McTominay are now out of their cast. You know, they're doing some light grass work. So maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I think with that midfield pairing in shape, I think we'll have a good chance in fighting for top 4 and getting the Europa League.
Yeah. Definitely. Score predictions?
It's at Old Trafford, Bruno Fernandes' debut. I don't give a shit. I think we're going to go thump these men. 4-0. I don't give a fuck. 4-0.
I thought I was
running wild.
Look.
Wolves might as well not even come tomorrow. Just get out, actually.
It's a late game. Hopefully Peter Drury is commentating. Hopefully we have a Bruno Fernandes Peter Drury commentary moment. And I'm predicting Bruno will score. I see a goal for Bruno Fernandes in this game. I'm going to say 3-1.
So romantic. Ever so romantic, those score
It's
predictions.
only because of this one
you
guy.
heard it here. You heard it here, man. You heard it here. Get down in the comments. Let us know what you think. There isn't much left to say. If Bruno Fernandes does start tomorrow, it increases Manchester United's chances of breaking down that negative Wolves defence. I think tomorrow, just a bit of an insight, I think we will see Wolves play more negatively than they did in the cup game because there's no incentive to chase the game. They can get a point from this. It is a league fixture. And I think that's the big thing for Manchester United. Can Manchester United finally be the big team and extend this run of games and actually go on and do something? With 5 wins in the last 6, I expect no different from Manchester United. This is the first time in a long time since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has arrived, bar that first 3 months, that I'm looking at a Manchester United team and expecting them to actually turn a corner, because the start of turning a corner is not losing more than 1 game in the last 6. So let us know what you think. Let us know what your score predictions are. Anything else you gentlemen want to
add? Bruno, I love you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, remember the Bugsy babes, and yeah, let's go and thump Wolves. Can get lost.
That was nice.
Yeah, Bruno
But no
Fernandes.
pressure, Bruno. You're in my fantasy league team, so yeah, no pressure.
Skype called, by the way. Bruno Fernandes done his hamstring in the medical, so he's going to be out for 3 weeks.
I'm watching the game anymore. Actually, I quit the podcast.
Oh, it's Bruno Fernandes at Old Trafford. Guys, we're excited, as you can tell. I think we're going to wrap it up before there's any loathing of our new signing. Please do leave a like on the video. Please do subscribe. And as usual, it's been a good show. Catch you in the next one. Peace.